I love Christmas. It is one of my favorite holidays. Probably not my favorite holiday, but one of my favorites. Who has already put up their Christmas tree? Raise your hand. Do you have a tiny one? Okay. When did you put up your tree, Nate?
Me and my grandparents put it up last night.
Last night. Okay, in preparation for the lesson. Someone else whose Christmas tree is already up? Anyone else? I have a confession to make. Our Christmas tree went up a week before Halloween. We have been celebrating Christmas for almost a month now in our house. Christmas decorations, the stockings are hung, the lights are up, ornaments are hung on the tree. We like Christmas. So don't think I'm like trying to hate on Christmas here. We also love Thanksgiving. I think that they're too close. Like there's not enough time for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Either one, they both deserve more time, and we can kick Halloween back a little bit more. That's my opinion. So we're going to bash on Santa, but it's not because I hate Christmas. I love Christmas. I like the feeling of generosity. I like the feeling of you enjoy giving things to people. I like just the kind of the feelings of happiness and joy. I listen to Christmas music 12 months out of the year to kind of stay in this happy state, be a little more patient with people. It helps me out. But Santa, the Americanized version of Santa, as we know him, as the big, fat, jolly man with the cap or whatever the song says. Santa was invented, the Americanized version. He was invented by Coca-Cola in the 1930s. Santa, as we know it, he was, and I didn't know this for this lesson, I've known this for a while, he was modeled after a friend of the artist who had to come up with like an ad for Coca-Cola. He was a traveling salesman, I believe. And he was a friend of the family. So they drew him, and they kind of dressed him up a little bit, and Coca-Cola found out very quickly that this sells at Christmas time. 1930s Coca-Cola. Also in the 1930s, copyrighted, was the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the one that says, he sees you when you're, he knows when you're, he knows if you've been, so be good, so you can get presents, right? Copyrighted in the 1930s, right around the same time that the Americanized version of Santa Claus that we all know, that we see at the mall, that we see on TV, we see on cards, we see on wrapping paper, it's been around for quite some time. And I think the problem, and there's nothing wrong with this, inherently. I grew up, we did Santa when I was younger. I believe in God. It hasn't affected my belief in God at all. But I think the problem, and studies are coming out, they're still learning about this, is, for young kids, they hear about this being, and this being seems to know, it represents the parents in the song. Like your parents know if you're awake, they know when you're sleeping, they know if you've been bad or good throughout the year, but they hear about this being who knows all these things about them, and they think, okay, this is like a reward system. Like I have to be good so I can get a new Nintendo Switch game, or I have to be good so that I'll get an American Eagle gift card or Amazon gift card. Or, if you're my dad, every year he would give me white undershirts, the thing I always wanted for Christmas, year after year. And then you find out, oh, Santa's not real, and you think back, okay, well, my parents said, if you're not good, Santa's not going to bring you presents. I guess that was a lie. Let's talk afterwards. I heard this pastor I knew, this is a real story. He was in front of a church talking about Santa. He was talking about how they didn't do Santa in his household. And he told the entire church, he's like, we told our kids he's dead. And a lot of the families in that church did Santa Claus with their kids. So he actually had to come back, and he was a guest speaker. He had to apologize to that entire church for ruining Santa Claus in that specific way. Very, very awkward. I will never be that bad. But kids they're raised with this, okay, this higher being that can give me good things that I want or will punish me if I'm not good enough, that he's not real. It was a construct made up by my parents to get me to behave around the holidays when, tensions and stress are high. And it's very easy to go from that block to going, well, what about God? Is God just a construct? Is he just made up to try to control masses of people, for the church to control people into giving money or into giving time and volunteering, or to just try to be a better person, that this God's going to punish me if I'm bad or reward me if I'm good? Or I've tried to be a good person, but it feels like life's not going my way, so either God's not real or God hates me and he's not loving, and it's a very slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. So they're still studying how this affects people in the longer term. They know right now that more kids will believe in and believe in Santa up to a certain age, and less kids will believe in God, but then it kind of changes as the kids get older and figure it out. It's just interesting.